It's been said by one comedian that the beginning of all brain damage goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. Well, I don't think that that's so far from the truth, but I'm going to modify that statement and say that the beginning of stupidity and idiocy goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. Let's just take a look at that, shall we? Welcome to Thinking Caps On. Let's get started. Once upon a time, on planet Earth, in a garden far, far away, God created Adam and Eve. That's right, we're going all the way back to the biblical beginning of humanity. And if you believe in evolution, or you believe in creation, or whatever your belief is with regards to the origin of humanity, just remember, we're here to poke fun at the biblical narrative. So, let's do this. So once upon a time, God creates Adam and gives Adam a job. He wants him to go and name all of the animals in the garden. Give them all names. And Adam goes around naming every animal. Stripy animal, other stripy animal, spotted animal, short animal, tall animal. The list goes on. But then one day, Adam's getting a little lonely because what he realizes is that all of these other animals have somebody to get a little action with, but not him. He's lonely. So God, in his, her, its infinite wisdom says,
If I'm not careful, he's gonna start making love to a pillow. I just know it. We better do something about that. Alright, Adam. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy. And he's out. Alright, get the hacksaw, give me one of his ribs.
And then Adam wakes up and has a bit of a pain in his chest. What is that? But God's like,
Hey Adam, I got a present for you. Oh, here she is. She's beautiful, isn't she?
Adam's like,
Damn! Whoa, man! Hey! That's what I'll call her! Whoa, man!
Adam, come on. You can do better than that.
Woman?
Fine. Woman it is.
So Adam and Eve are supposed to be the creative pinnacle of all of the species on the planet, and the whole earth is given to them. Except, of course, for one particular tree, and we all know what that tree is all about. Here it is, planted in the middle of the garden, and God says, you can have any fruit of any tree you want. Apparently, they're vegetarians to start. But that one tree right there, don't touch. So Adam and Eve both look at each other.
Do you know why?
No, I don't have a clue. Alright, fair enough.
And everything is supposed to be fine at this point in time. But along comes a certain day when Eve, who we have no idea how old she is, for all we know, she might have been a week old and had like a week-year-old's brain. Week-year-old? For all we know, she had the brain of someone who is only 1 week old. There we go, fixed it. So she's all alone in the garden, and along comes a snake that starts talking to her.
Hello, Eve. Look into my eyes. Is it true that God said, you must not eat the fruit of the tree?
Yes. God said we must not eat the fruit, or else we'll die.
You won't die. No. God says keeping something from you.
Yes. He's keeping something from me.
Go. Eat the fruit. You know you want to. My Jedi mind tricks are strong with you.
Your Jedi what? Damn, I'm hungry. Oh, that looks tasty. That's so good. Hey, hubby, want some?
We know how the rest ends. Now, here's the thing that I just want to get into about this. First of all, if a snake came up to you and started talking to you, I think you'd run away. That's for starters. I mean, how naive and how ridiculously stupid did God create Eve to be that a talking snake didn't seem out of the ordinary to her? I think you done messed up with the software there, God. But secondly, after Eve eats the fruit and then gives some to Adam, now God is like,
Oh, guys. Where are you?
they're hiding because now they know that they're naked. And God's like,
Who told you that you're naked?
and they find out that they've eaten from the fruit, and God gets all pissy and has a temper tantrum. Now, a couple of things about this. One, boots them out of the garden. Well, duh. But I really want to get into one particular aspect of this story. God has the ultimate vendetta, really, against Eve for what has happened. He tells her that, first of all, he wants them to become fruitful and fill the earth. And he even told them that beforehand. So now they're supposed to create the human race by getting a lot of this action going. But God, being the angry dick that he, she, it can be, says,
Alright, Eve, you're gonna be the mother of all of humanity, and you're going to fill the earth anyway, but I'm going to increase the pain to an excruciating level for you. Enjoy.
On top of all of that, there's the whole curse with regards to like her menstrual cycle and everything else. Now, my ex-wife, whenever she used to get her period, would say, I hate Eve because of all of that. Well, honestly, I have to stop and say, no, this is God having it in for Eve and all women to come afterwards. And I ask the question, what did every woman born from Eve do to deserve having to suffer for 5 days a month? What is wrong with you, God? Secondly, and this part here, I'm going to have to kind of really question, because the Bible, written by men, God also curses Eve and says to her that the man would dominate over her. Some apologists have said, well, this is indicative of how men treat women. Again, let's take it at face value. This is basically God saying,
And because of what you done did, you are down here on the food chain now. You were here, now you're here. You done fucked up.
does this sound like a God that has a relatively even temper? Or one that is full of love and mercy and so on? I think not. To wind up cursing an entire race for the actions of two people and then have to put into motion a whole bunch of dramatic theater and basically turning the human race into a whole bunch of chess pawns. No, not loving. Not loving at all. And this is why I really have a hard time believing that this account has any merit whatsoever. At any rate, it's something to make you stop, grab your favorite piece of fruit, take a big bite of it, and go, hum. Catch you next time.
Jedi mind tricks are strong with you.